Hi friends, in this video I'm going to be talking about the book Anything You Want by Derek Sivers. Right, so let's get started. I feel the title Anything You Want by Derek Sivers is kind of clickbait, to be honest. Like, this book doesn't give you anything you want, but I feel like this book can really help a lot of people, to be honest. Right, so this book was made by Derek Sivers and he founded a website called CD Baby. Now this is actually a very short book. I actually read the PDF of this book, and this book is basically 10 years of his experience in making the website CD Baby into 78 pages essentially. I would have actually read the hard copy book, but I didn't have any money to buy it. And I also thought of listening to the audiobook, but I couldn't find the audiobook on YouTube. So I decided to just read the PDF of the book. But I think it's a good decision that you should not listen to the audiobook because the book itself is very short. And there's a lot of important topics which they talk about in the book, and the points don't actually repeat. And if you listen to the audiobook, you might miss out those important points. Now the book actually says you'll be able to read it in 1 hour because it's just 78 pages, but it literally took me a week to actually read the book, but that is also because I'm a slow reader. Now the book is basically 40 points which Derek Sivers basically learned when he ran the business CD Baby. And in the book, Derek actually highlights each point, and he essentially talks about the point that he made, and in the last few sentences there might be something useful in each point. Now first, let me talk about what exactly is CD Baby and basically the start of the book. Now basically CD Baby is a website, and before Derek Sivers actually made the website CD Baby, he was actually a musician. And Derek Sivers made CDs of his music, and he did a lot of gigs, and he's been selling his CDs to other people and stuff like that. But he also wanted to sell his CDs online. But at the time, there was no place where you can sell independent music, essentially. That gave him an idea to basically make his own store. So he made his own website where he could sell his own CDs to other people, essentially. And that website was called CD Baby. Now this book is basically a different approach on how business is basically run. Derek Sivers, he only wanted to sell his own CDs, but suddenly other friends of his found out that he was doing that, so other friends also wanted to sell their own CDs into his website essentially. So he then helped his friends sell their own CD in his website. And he literally said in his book that he didn't want his business to be big. He literally just wanted it to be small. And he didn't want to be ambitious at all. So it's a very different thinking of how traditional businesses are doing essentially. And I think I would recommend this book for anyone who would want to show their work online, or basically anyone who just wants to provide value to other people. I think you should read this book because it's quite cool. Now I'm going to list some cool sentences in this book, but I won't be listing all of the points, but I would still suggest you to definitely read the book. And maybe take some notes when you read the book. For me, I basically read the PDF of the book. I just copy and pasted any text which was important into my Notion page essentially. But that is just me being cheap. You can get the hard copy if you want to, or you can also save your notes in Readwise or something like that. And Readwise will then give you an email of all of the stuff you've highlighted and stuff like that, and all of the important key points essentially. But yeah, you should definitely read the book and write down some points of that book essentially. So here are some of the points of the book. Now the first point is that business is not about money. It's about making dreams come true for others and for yourselves. And another point is that happiness is the real reason you're doing anything, right? Even if you say it's for the money is just a means to happiness, right? But what if it's proven that after a certain point, money doesn't create any happiness at all, but only headaches? You may be much happier as a $1 million business than a $1 billion business. And another point is that when you make a company, you make a utopia. It's where you design your perfect world. And I agreed with this. When I was making my website in Wix.com, I basically didn't care on what should I actually put inside. I was just going with the flow. I was just thinking about any creative thought which I have and basically writing about it in my website. And it's not perfect by any means, but I made it because it was fun essentially. And I think that goes with painting as well. When you first start to paint, you essentially paint whatever you want. And only you can judge if that painting is good and stuff like that. So it's your own personal utopia. And another point that Derek Sivers made is that never forget why you're really doing what you're doing. Are you helping people? Are they happy? Are you happy? Are you profitable? Isn't that enough? And another point is that when you want to learn how to do something yourself, most people won't understand. They will assume the only reason we do anything is to get it done. And doing it yourself is not the most efficient way. But that's forgetting the joy of learning and doing. When you sign up to run a marathon, you don't want a taxi to take you to the finish line. And I guess by saying that point, I guess like Derek Sivers basically meant that the journey is the destination essentially. So like maybe when you're like making a website or something and you're finally able to like write some text into that page, or like maybe you're finally able to like change the background color of that page, that gives you an ecstatic kind of feeling essentially. And that's like doing maths. Like maths is tough as well, but like the more harder the problem is and the longer it takes for you to actually solve the problem, the more ecstatic feeling you actually have once you actually solve it essentially. So it's not like being in a race to get everything done essentially and make that website perfect, but essentially is to enjoy the journey throughout. And another point is that even if what you're doing is slowing the growth of your business, if it makes you happy, that's okay. It's your choice to remain small. Whatever you make, it's your creation. So make it your personal dream come true. And in the description below, I'm going to like list all of the points I actually took down from the book. And it might be a bit of an eyesore to like read everything, but I'm just going to write all of them out in the description. So if you want, you can check that out. But honestly, I think anyone who wants to somewhat provide value to other people should definitely check out the book. Alright, that's it for this video and thank you for watching. Goodbye.